we'll turn this session into a series and talk about each of these other business structure categories. And because we're going to have Gustavo talking about nanobubbles, we're not going to really go into huge detail on cooperatives today either. We will finish this discussion on cooperatives either next week or in a future week. So, Dave, I'll turn it over to you. Cooperative for your business structure. And I'm going to just leave this slide up for a second. And this is an amazing resource, by the way, everybody, that I've got up here on the screen right now. And I was going to use it if we went into more detail here today. And after Dave talks next week, I probably will use it. So, Mark, if you can just get this. This is long. We'll make sure you guys get it. So, Dave, go for it.
Yeah, thank you, Wayne. I'll first say that I'm not a CPA, and I have a son who is, but I'm not. And but looking at these different structures, I have started. Actually, I still own. I've started at least a dozen companies, and I've sold some off, and kept others. And I have out of the list here, C Corp, S Corp, LLC, and a PBC. I actually have one of each, plus I have a couple in that category. But let me just add, too, that there's a couple other reasons why you want to have all this in writing. One is there is something called the UCC code and Uniform Commercial Code. And under one of the statutes, it says that any type of contract that is going to be over $500 or is going to be for longer than 12 months must be in writing to be enforceable. So you do have to have more than a handshake. But again, I will say that meeting people face to face. Matter of fact, my partner Jeff in MinFarm and I were out in Colorado not last week, the weekend before, and met up with Wayne. We've been having probably 3 years worth of conference calls, and this was the first time that Jeff was able to meet with Wayne, and I think that just really helped the whole business relationship immensely. So I will also say too that there is good reason to get good legal advice. Different states have different laws. Because I own commercial real estate, also one of my companies does, that I keep my real estate license up in my state. I don't sell real estate, but there's some tax advantages and other reasons to do so, and I can represent myself in transactions. But one of the things is to know what type of property laws there are in the state, so that there's, I know in a neighboring state here that it's a communal property law. So if you start a business and let's say you take money out of your checking account, and then later on you and your spouse decide to split, it's communal property because it came out of your funds. And so even though you may have been working it all and doing everything, and you're the pillar of this business, and your spouse has nothing to do with it, it doesn't matter when it comes to communal property law. So it's good to get good advice up front when forming a corporation, put these things together. It's easy enough to do. So let's just talk a little bit about co-ops and well, a couple of these other anecdotal things about structures. One of the largest, or the largest, I should say, the largest S corporation, so that's subchapter S of the IRS code, an S corporation is here in Minnesota, and it's probably, a lot of you have heard the name. It's an agricultural company that's worldwide. It's called Cargill, and it is a S corporation which has a limited number of members that it can have, and it has different taxation rules than a C corporation. So that's one. We also in Minnesota, where I live, we have probably one of the largest co-ops that is in the country, and that is Land O'Lakes. And so that's actually probably, their headquarters is probably 7-8 miles from where I sit right now.